This video is brought to you by Big Bad Toy Store. Make your purchases through my personal link in the description to help out the channel. So I recently started buying the Studio Series Transformers figures because I am just sort of in awe of the detail. Like, they basically look like mini masterpieces, especially like Starscream here. Soundwave is, I think he's a little bit too small for being a satellite, but then if you watch Dark of the Moon, he is quite tiny in comparison to Starscream and Megatron. Like, this is pretty accurate. But in general, this figure, I like how he looks. I think he would look better if, like, there was some sort of fill-in for the torso here. I think he would look a bit more proportionate. But mainly, it's his paint job, or, well, lack of a paint job that bothers me a little bit. Like, he's just this incredibly boring dark gray plastic and these like half-arsed scuffs, I think. So I am going to repaint him into just like a nice metallic. So that's what we're doing for this video. So as you can see, I've masked a few pieces like below the feet and like here, and it's because I'm gonna spray paint him with just some metallic, just to spruce him up a little bit. Most likely I will do the like fine work with an actual brush, but I think it's a good idea to just base everything in metallic. So let's see how it turns out. And there we have him. He's now a nice metallic sort of gunmetal. And we're gonna make him a little bit brighter, but first off we're gonna darken the crevices with some Nuln oil. So we're just gonna slather this wonderful paint all over him, like so. Making sure it gets into all the little grooves and all the little crevices. And then after that we are going to do a dry brush of just some silver. You see, like here, how it went down in the grooves here. It's a little bit more noticeable than on this side, which I haven't even touched up yet. Okay, so with the wash all done, you can see that he is very, very dark now. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this Vallejo silver and we're just gonna dry brush him with, we're just gonna completely cover him. So I put some silver on my brush here, as you can see. And now I'm just gonna quickly wipe the majority of it away, just like so. And now I'm just gonna dust over it. See, especially how it catches like this line here, and we're gonna do this over the entire figure just to brighten him up a little bit. Like here, it's gonna look a lot better too. I don't really have too much of a plan going in here. I'm just sort of... I want these two different metallics to just sort of blend together and make him a bit more visually interesting than just one of them. And if you're curious about this middle section here, I do have plans for it. So now we have a really good, like we obviously have two different sets of metallic paints on here. The darker gunmetal and we have the lighter silver on top as like a highlight more than anything. but he is a little bit too much silver, and it's pretty much impossible to find any sort of proper reference picture of the Soundwave robot mode, because there isn't one in the actual movie. So I'm gonna take some inspiration from the G1 here, and I'm gonna paint this bit here gold, because this, if anything, harkens back to like the tape door, and the outline for that is like yellow, so I figured gold would be a pretty decent fill-in, I think. So I have this Retributor armor from Citadel, and yeah, we're gonna improvise. Okay, so now pretty much what I'm doing is I'm just finding an excuse to put more gold on to spice him up a little bit, because frankly this all silver look is a little bit plain. So we're just gonna paint some details gold. What else could we paint gold? Maybe like these dishes here. I kind of want these to be blue though, just to like match this energy here. I mean, he looks better obviously, but there's still something missing, I feel. I think I will make like these bits here like a light electric blue, so hang on. So I figure the silver is like the easiest thing to repaint, so I figured we could take a gamble and paint these speaker thingies blue. I'm just using some Vallejo electric blue. That actually does add quite a lot of color to it, so maybe next is I'm gonna find an excuse to add even more blue. Like, I guess what I could be doing technically is I could just, you know, paint him as G1 colors, but it's also like I kinda want these to be somewhat accurate. I can take a little bit more liberties with Soundwave because his robot mode wasn't really in the movie, but I still want to be sort of faithful, and I know for a fact he was primarily silver in the movie. There are some very thin roofs here. Maybe I can paint them, sort of have some blue in here, sort of have like blue energy stored in here or whatever. I can't really get in between everything there, but I could paint like these. So I found these little panels back here, and I figured why not just paint them gold. So there is a little cable here I've had my eyes on the entire time, this one here, and I figured I could paint it red just to add a little bit extra color. So I wish there was like another cable here because I wanted to paint that blue. But these cables down here too. We're nearing completion now, and I think one of the last major things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these like little panels to be blue. Okay, so the sides are now done, and I'm thinking there are some panels up here on his shoulders as well, and I just desperately want to add a little bit more color to him, so what if I paint these in just... And here he is completed, all painted up, and he's a clear improvement from the original. As you can see, if you didn't watch the video, I have taken the liberty on quite a lot of things. I just basically wanted him to be a little bit more colorful than just silver throughout the entire thing. I did end up dulling the gold I painted here with some more of that Nuln oil, just so it's not like in your face. And I also painted all these little like cables in here. I think that really helps with the coloring. I tried to cheat in as much blue as I could just to add some extra spice to him, like these, whatever these things are, up here, and also like these little lines here. I'm not really sure what they are. And then I added some more gold here around his head. The head itself, I didn't really do anything with it, except I gave it like a light silver dry brush over, just so all this nice detail would come out. Soundwave's face in Revenge of the Fallen was, in my opinion, really cool looking. It was really close to the classic G1 type faceplate, but it still like moved. So I think I just love his head design. I think he looked fantastic. And I painted these things blue here. Some of the blue, like you can see here, it looks like I just painted it poorly, but it's actually sort of on purpose because I want it to look a bit more worn. I don't want him to look like brand new. That's also why I kept like this. Like, as you can see, like the metal paint isn't like even, it's sort of like speckly almost. That's because of the dry brush, but it's an effect I really like. I don't really want him to look like super shiny like say Jazz in the movie or anything like that. I just want him to look like a little bit battle worn, but yeah, really happy with how it turned out. I guess we could turn him into satellite mode real quick. And here he is in his satellite form. Obviously not like the greatest alt mode ever, but he looks good enough. As you can see, this flap isn't really detailed. I just couldn't really be bothered considering I'm pretty much never gonna have him transformed like this. So, yeah. So, as always, thank you for watching my video, and if you want to support me, you can check out my Patreon account, where I will post some exclusive behind-the-scenes and work in progress and just random brainstorming ideas from time to time. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit.
Soundwave acknowledges Decepticon.